Hey friends, how are you doing? Welcome to this new video on the channel here, where we analyze the latest in technology. And today is no exception with this beast I have right here. We're talking about the Aton Man G7 Ti, a mini PC that's breaking all the rules. And it comes with a design that's more compact than a PlayStation 5, but with the pure power of a technological titan. And that's because it's equipped with an Intel Core i9 and NVIDIA RTX graphics. 4070. Besides having advanced cooling so you can edit, work and play without any problems. Is it really as good as it seems? Let's get to know it today, so make yourself comfortable and join me here on TechGround. ATOMMAN is the gaming line from Minis Forum, a company that has been creating innovative and functional mini PCs for many years. Their goal is to find the balance and combine power with a compact design. It seems that with this G7 Ti, they've taken it to the next level because we've tried other devices from the brand like the G7 PT and the X7 Ti, and they've left us with a really good impression. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any tech reviews. Now let's get to what we like. With the unboxing of this box, we see a box with minimalist packaging, which reflects the elegant design of this mini PC. Here we see the model, the brand, and a vectorized image of the device itself. But what's important is what's inside. The black box, as you can see, let's take a closer look. We open it and find in the center, very well protected, the Aton Man G7 Ti. And on the sides, two boxes. In each box, we're going to see the different cables. But first, this little envelope here, which contains the quick start manuals and the warranty. In one of the boxes, we find the 280 watt power adapter, essential for powering all this performance, divided into two. On one side, the transformer with the cable, and on the other side, the three-phase cable with a single end and a European connection on the other. And in the other box, we find a high-speed HDMI cable, and the base, which is the stand that allows us to place our computer vertically. And it comes with some small screws and a non-slip base. And it seems to be quite heavy and stable enough to place the computer on top. This is everything that comes in the box of the Aton Man G7 Ti. Let's discuss the features and try it out. The device is unboxed and ready. Now let's get started, just as shown in the product videos. Talking about the dimensions of the device, the composition of its materials and its design, and later we'll talk about its features. In terms of size, it has a height of 39 centimeters, a width of 26 centimeters, and a thickness of 8 centimeters, with a total weight of 4.5 kilos. Of course, that's counting both the device and the base, since the computer itself would have a width of about 3 centimeters. 3.5 centimeters, okay? Built with metallic materials throughout its chassis, both the front and the back. I'm going to call it a sandwich, okay? Because these two sides would be metallic, but the inside of the sandwich would have a plastic finish, okay? And it's very well finished, I'm telling you, it's very nice and very attractive. And the black platform comes with a non-slip base and two screws, so you can attach it and keep it firmly fixed to the computer chassis. Alright, here we can see the ATOMMAN brand logo and some letters below, as well as the name of the brand for this ATOMMAN gaming line. On the back, from top to bottom and left to right, we see a full honeycomb mesh to dissipate and ventilate all the heat generated by the computer. Internally, it's full of vents everywhere, which makes the air circulate really well. If we look inside the sandwich, as I mentioned before, on the rear edge, we'll see that we have ventilation grills both at the top and at the bottom. If we start with the ports, at the top we have the power input in the form of a 19-volt barrel connector. The USB Type-C, which can also be used as a display port to output video signal, an HDMI 2.1, a USB 3.2 Type-A, and the RJ45, with a gigabit port for direct internet connection. On the top edge, we would only have a ventilation grill, and on the bottom edge as well. Or the only thing we would do is the base, and it wouldn't be visible from the front. Now we've reached the area where we'll have something more eye-catching on this device. In here we find the power button, a plastic button, and a switch button to switch between game mode and normal task mode. so that we can get more performance out of the computer, and it moves to another power phase. And right below, there are some little arrows which kind of remind me of the Aton Man logo, like a kind of LED arrows that we can also configure ourselves to give it that little touch. Really gaming, right? Right below, we find a USB 3.2 Type A port and secure digital card reader. It's really nice to have a physical card slot. The 3.5mm mini jack input for microphone or headphones, and another USB 3.2 Type A. This is what we have in terms of inputs and outputs throughout the whole device. Now let's talk about what really matters in a computer, and that's its heart. Let's say the brain, which is going to drive the whole structure of the rest of the components. And that's because it comes with an Intel Core i9-14900HX with 24 cores and 32 threads and a maximum frequency of 5.8 GHz. This guarantees brutal performance both in modeling, editing, gaming of course, and in daily tasks. As for graphics, it comes with an NVIDIA RTX 4070 with 8GB double data rate, 6 which will allow us to play any type of video game, at a minimum of 4000 because we will also be able to get a maximum output resolution of 8000. Through its USB 4, which has a USB 4 that can also be used as a display port, and we will have that maximum resolution of 8000. As for the device's memory, it would have 32 GB of RAM as standard, and we could expand it up to 96 GB. In double data rate, 5. And it comes with 1 TB of internal storage, peripheral component, Interconnect Express 4.0 SSD, which we could also expand up to 4 TB. Which means we can enjoy any type of video game or program, and it will run them without any problem. We can even give it more performance and more power. However, I haven't seen that the USB 4 port can be used as UKI-Link to connect an external graphics card, but maybe it can. Okay, so keep that in mind because I'm not sure if this can actually be done. And regarding the cooling system, it comes with a Cold Wave Pro that includes dual fans and 5 heat pipes that always keep the temperature under control. In one of the tests, we put it in gaming mode, pushing it hard using resources and AAA video games, and it produced a noise of 52 decibels when it was working at maximum power, which is an acceptable noise level for a mini PC. After all, it's like a laptop. I've tested laptops, and when high-powered models are working at maximum capacity, they overheat. It creates extra noise that can disturb our silence, but 52 decibels, you'll see it in the tests. It's quite acceptable, like I told you before. About connectivity, both the HDMI and USB 4 will support 8K output, but at 60 Hz, okay? Don't think we're going to get 200 Hz at 8K or 294 at 4K, yes, but not at 8K. And it would have Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4 to provide stable wireless connections for peripherals or for our home or work network. Here are some tests we conducted with AAA video game titles such as Call of Duty Black Ops 6. We've also seen Forza Horizon and other titles as well. Call of Duty has worked perfectly. A AAA game, Black Ops 6, is the latest game released by Call of Duty, and we've been playing multiplayer matches with Wi-Fi 7. I've been playing at a distance, not too far from my router, but it's worked great. The frame rate consistently stayed above 120 frames per second, just like in Forza, where it remained above 60 frames per second. It's great for gaming, as well as editing 4K videos in DaVinci without proxies. I imported a pretty big project I had from a short film, and the computer handled it without any problem. Let me also tell you that we have an application called Control Center, where we can see the parameters live. You can switch between game mode and normal task mode. You can also change the LED lights, which is a pretty cool feature, being able to switch your lights and choose the mode as well. Aside and all that. And it has access to the basic input-output system, which is very graphical, very intuitive, and will also allow us to manage and navigate through all the settings and configurations immediately and in a very visual way. We've also tested its performance using Cinebench, Geekbench, and Crystal DiskMark benchmarking tools. To check the read speeds of its drives, supposedly on its drives, it has a max read speed of 7 GB, S on the M2 SSD. But we'll leave it here so you can see for yourselves the score it got. And in Geekbench, we get 2,782 points in single core and 16,814 points in multi-core. In Geekbench, the GPU scored 118,566 points. In OpenCL and in Geekbench, you can see that it has a ratio of 11.88. In single core, 119 points, placing this Intel Core i9 in first position. In multi-core, 1,416 points, and in GPU, 11,251 points. Honestly, a real beast. And if we talk about speeds, its SSD gave us a read speed of 4,773 megabytes and a write speed of 3.895 megabytes, which is not bad at all for this computer. It's a real beast. As I said at the beginning, although it has a pretty powerful character, it's big, it's solid, and visually it has a very pleasant aesthetic. As I told you, to me it reminded me more of a console, of a router. It's quite attractive, and above all, it has the performance of next generation internal components. So to mention some negative points, what I miss is having a display port, having one more USB-C port. In short, different types of connections where I can connect two screens at the same time. For example, with two HDMI ports, since there's plenty of space here, there's plenty of space on the back. I don't know about the internal level, okay? But adding one more HDMI or a display port wouldn't be bad at all. And on the front, well, we have enough ports. Maybe they could have added one for headphones and another for microphones. That's just my view. Regarding the device's finish, I have no issues with its performance. And compared to other laptops or other devices in the same range that I've tried, it doesn't fall behind at all. On the contrary, it would be on par with them. For example, its direct competitor would be the Asus Republic of Gamers next unit of computing 970, which would be matched in everything: configuration, power, and performance. The only difference is the weight. The Asus is about 2.5 kilo, while this one is 4.5 kilo. The Asus is a bit smaller with a more rectangular shape compared to the other device. It's more like the G7 Ti, which we also tested. So this would be everything we expect from a compact design, from a mini PC, and from a computer with a lot of power that we can take anywhere, anytime. It's 4.5 kilos. It's not outrageous either, but it would have the top graphics card and processor on the market. Do you like this computer? Let me know in the comments, and also leave your questions if you like or don't like this type of mini PC that Aton Man from the Minis Forum brand is releasing. Just a reminder, it starts at 1,600, but there's a big discount on their website. It would end up being around $1,280, which is approximately 1,200 euros, give or take. For 1,200 euros, we have a super powerful computer, except for not having a keyboard, a mouse, and a monitor. So let me know, what do you think about this Aton Man? Give it a like if you enjoy this content. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And thank you so much for being there. See you in the next Tech Crown video. See you soon. Thank you.